Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to this afternoon's business meeting. Commissioner Williams, are you there?
I'm here.
All right. I just wanted to make sure the record shows that Commissioner Williams has joined us by phone. Before we get started, I'd like to ask everyone to please bow your head for a moment of silent reflection. And thank you. Mr. Minges.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners. Next agenda meeting is scheduled for Wednesday, August 28th at 2 o'clock.
Good, thank you. August 28th at 2.
On our supplemental agenda, docket numbers 2019, 184, 185, and 186E. This matter concerns the third-party consultants interviewed for these dockets.
Mr. Chairman.
Commissioner Williams.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I move that comments regarding the public interviews for a third-party consultant in these dockets that were conducted on August 12, 2019, and on Monday, August 19, 2019, pursuant to South Carolina Code Section 58-4-20I, be submitted by 5 p.m. this Friday, August 23rd, 2019. So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. You've heard Commissioner Williams' motion. Are there questions or comments? Not all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. And the motion carries. Thank you.
On our utilities agenda, item number 1, docket numbers 1996, 364C and 2007, 155C. South Carolina Telephone Coalition, the Office of Regulatory Staff, have requested that we carry this item over.
We will carry those over. Thank you.
Item number 2, docket number 2019, 137C. This matter concerns the application of Advanced Technology Group, LLC.
Mr. Chairman,
Commissioner Belzer.
I move that we grant the application of Advanced Technology Group, LLC for a certificate of public convenience and necessity to provide resold inter-exchange telecommunications services in the state of South Carolina and for alternative and flexible regulation. I believe it's also resold and facilities-based. Thank you. Approve the application is my motion.
Thank you. Yeah, you've heard Commissioner Belzer's motion. Are there questions or comments? Not all in favor, please say aye. Aye. All opposed, no. Motion carries. Thank you.
Item number 3, docket number 2019, 258C. We have a petition to intervene.
Mr. Chairman.
Commissioner Whitfield.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we grant the petition to intervene filed on behalf of the South Carolina Telephone Coalition. So move.
Thank you. You've heard Commissioner Whitfield's motion. Are there questions or comments? Not all in favor, please say aye.
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 All opposed, no. Motion carries.
Item number 4, docket number 2007, 396G. We have an amendment to an agreement for transportation service with Firm Gas Standby.
Chairman.
Commissioner Howard.
Chairman, I move we approve Amendment 1 to the Agreement for Transportation Services with Firm Gas Standby between Dominion Energy South Carolina Incorporated and Starbucks Corporation. So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. You've heard Commissioner Howard's motion. Are there questions or comments? If not all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. And the motion carries. Thank you.
Item number 5, docket number 2019, 257WS. This item concerns Blue Granite Water Company's request for approval of water and sewer agreements without notice or hearing.
Mr. Chairman.
Commissioner Whitfield.
Mr. Chairman, I would note that ORS has submitted a letter in this docket stating that it is in discovery with the applicant and that time is needed for that process, for ORS to go through that process. In light of that, Mr. Chairman, I move that we carry this item over at the request of ORS.
Thank you. You've heard Commissioner Whitfield's motion. Are there questions, comments? If not all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. The motion carries. Thank you.
Item number 6, docket numbers 2019-184E and 2019-185E. Petition to intervene has been filed.
Mr. Chairman,
Commissioner Belzer.
I move that we grant the petition to intervene filed by the South Carolina Energy Users Committee in these dockets.
Thank you. You've heard Commissioner Belzer's motion. No comments or questions. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. Motion carries. Thank you.
Items number 7 and 8 in docket numbers 2019-269E and 2019-268E concern power purchase agreements filed with the commission that can be taken together.
Mr. Chairman,
Commissioner Irvin.
I move that we accept for filing the power purchase agreements between Duke Energy Carolinas and XLDO Energy SC York LLC and docket number 2019-269E, and Duke Energy Carolinas and JSD Management LLC and docket number 219-268E. I also move that we grant the request for confidential treatment of these agreements on these dockets. Duke states that the information contained in the power purchase agreements for which Duke Energy Carolina seeks protection derives economic value not from being generally known to and not being readily ascertainable by proper means of other parties who would be able to obtain economic value should this information be disclosed. That's the reason for giving them confidential treatment. So I move that we accept for filing the power purchase agreements in items 7 and 8. So moved.
Thank you. You've heard Commissioner Irvin's motion. Are there questions or comments? If not, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. Motion carries. Thank you.
Item number 9, docket number 2019-267E. Duke Energy Progress has filed a power purchase agreement along with a request for confidential treatment.
Mr. Chairman,
Commissioner Belzer.
as noted by Mr. Menges, this is a power purchase agreement between Duke Energy Progress and Cardinal Solar. And Duke Energy Progress has also requested confidential treatment. So I will move that we accept the filing of the power purchase agreement between Cardinal Solar LLC and Duke Energy Progress LLC. I also move that we grant the request for confidential treatment of the agreement. Duke Energy Progress states the information contained in the PPA for which it seeks protection derives economic value from not being generally known to and not being readily ascertainable by proper means by other persons who would be able to obtain economic value from its disclosure. I so move.
Thank you. You've heard Commissioner Belzer's motion. Are there questions or comments? Not all in favor, please say aye.
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 All opposed, no. And the motion carries. Thank you.
Item number 10, docket number 2016-398E. We have a request for confidential treatment.
Mr. Chairman,
Commissioner Irvin.
Duke Energy Progress LLC requests confidential treatment of the natural gas pipeline construction and transportation service agreement filed with its report of lease financing. I move that we grant the request for confidential treatment of the agreement inasmuch as Duke has asserted in its petition that the agreement does contain market-sensitive, confidential, and proprietary conditions that are specific to this counterparty, and disclosure of these terms could negatively impact the company's ability to negotiate terms and conditions in a manner that results in the most beneficial outcome for contracts for its retail customers. For that reason, I move the adoption.
Thank you. You've heard Commissioner Irvin's motion. Are there questions or comments? Not all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. The motion carries. Thank you.
Item number 11, docket number 2019-241EG. Dominion Energy South Carolina is petitioning for an accounting order regarding advanced metering infrastructure.
Mr. Chairman.
Commissioner Howard.
Chairman, Dominion has filed a petition seeking an accounting order authorizing it to, number one, defer as a regulatory asset the incremental depreciation expense, property tax, and amortization of implemented costs associated hardware occurred in connection with the installation of advanced metering infrastructure, AMI, for its retail electric customers. Number 2, record carrying cost on the balance sheet and the deferred cost regulatory asset at its embedded cost of long-term debt. Number 3, reclassifying the carrying value of the existing electric meters being replaced to an electric unrecoverable plant regulatory asset account to be included in the company's rate base consistent with the current treatment of this investment upon their retirement. Number 4, reclassify the carrying value of the existing gas meter in quarter receiver transmitters, ERT devices, being replaced to a gas unrecovered plant regulatory asset account to be included in the company's rate base consistent with the current treatment for investment upon their retirements. And number 5, amortize the unrecovered plant regulatory asset accounts over the estimated composite remaining lives of the replaced meter and the ERT devices respectively. Dominion states that it serves over 736,000 customers in 24 counties, covering nearly 16,000 miles in central, southern, and the southwest portions of South Carolina. Utility asserts the efficiency that it expects from the AMIs are shorter outage restoration response time, reduction of truck rolls to read, disconnect, and reconnect, lower contact center volume, enhanced employees and customer safety, and theft detection through Tampa alerts and analytics. Utility further asserts the installation of AMI will enable customers to take greater control over their energy usage through the control of their due date on their bill, allow interaction with web-based energy user analyzers, provide alert based on energy use for customers' determined targets and thresholds, place same-day or real-time customer service requests, and provide enhanced communication during outages. The company also expects that AMI will allow more precise planning and grid optimization, predictive maintenance, and rate modeling. ORS has reviewed the proposal and does not object to the company's request of the accounting order for certain incremental costs associated with the company's AMI investment. ORS's position is predicated on the basis that issuing of an accounting order does not preclude the ORS, the Commission, or any party from addressing the reasonableness of these costs and any returns sought, including carrying costs, in subsequent general rate cases or other proceedings. In addition, ORS recommends that the amortization expenses shall be at the level of depreciation currently approved in rates until the company's next general rate case. In its letter, ORS makes several recommendations. Dominion offers residential and non-demand customers the ability to opt out. These customers would, instead of having a meter where energy usage would not be communicated via radio frequency, any cost for an alternative metering arrangement would be paid for by the customers opting out. This option will be available to customers at the same time that Dominion deploys the AMI. ORS recommends that the Dominion consider a medical waiver for the fees associated with the opt-out option, consistent with those recently approved for Duke Energy Carolinas LLC and Duke Energy Progress LLC. Lastly, ORS recommends that the Dominion file a customer's education plan. The company represents that it has no objection to the recommendations of ORS. Dominion commits to making an opt-out option, including provisions for medical waiver opt-out fees available to certain customers prior to the MAR deployment. The company also commits the filing of a customer education plan within 90 days of the Commission's approval of the company's petition. The customer education plan will provide specific details on how the company will communicate AMI deployment to its customers, the availability of out options and the benefit of AMI for the customers. I move we approve the petition as amended by and including the recommendations made by the Office of Regulatory Staff. So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. You've heard Commissioner Howard's motion. Are there questions or comments?
Mr. Chairman,
Commissioner Belzer?
I do have a question, and it may have just been I'm misunderstood or misheard, but with regard to the first paragraph and the request to defer as the incremental depreciation expense, property taxes, amortization of implementation cost of associated, I think I heard hardware, and I think they were asking for software.
Software.
If I misheard, I apologize. If not, would you accept a friendly amendment that should be software?
Should be software, correct.
Thank you, Commissioner. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments? Not all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. Motion carries. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, turning to our transportation agenda, items number 1 through 6 are new applications that can be taken together. Item 1, docket 2019-274T, Low Country Trolley for a Class C charter bus certificate. Item 2, docket 2019-273T, Low Country Trolley for a Class C charter certificate. Item 3, docket 2019-275T, Cornelius Eccles Sr. Item 4, docket 2019-276T, Patricia Holloway, DBA Tender Love and Care Transportation. Item 5, docket 2019-278T, Crosstown Taxi, LLC. And item number 6, docket 2019-279T, AB2C Shuttle, LLC.
Mr. Chairman.
Commissioner Whitfield?
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve the new applications in items 1 through 6 as identified by Mr. Minges.
Thank you. You've heard Commissioner Whitfield's motion. Are there questions or comments? Not all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. Motion carries. Thank you.
Item number 7, docket number 2008-81T. We have a request to cancel.
Mr. Chairman,
Commissioner Williams?
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve the request of Creekside Transportation Incorporated to cancel their Class C taxi certificate number 7957.
Thank you.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Commissioner Williams. You've heard Commissioner Williams' motion. Are there questions or comments? If not all in favor, please say aye.
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 All opposed, no. And the motion carries. Thank you.
Item number 8, docket number 2019-129T. We have a request for an extension of time.
Mr. Chairman,
Commissioner Urban?
I move that we approve the request of Renee Non-Emergency Transport LLC for an extension of time until September 16, 2019, to comply with the Commission rules and regulations. So moved.
Thank you. You've heard Commissioner Urban's motion. Are there questions or comments? If not all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. And the motion carries. Thank you.
Item number 9, docket number 2019-136T. We have a request for an extension of time.
Chairman.
Commissioner Howard?
Chairman, I move we approve the request of Calvin Simmons doing business as Ready Cab for an extension of time until February the 14th, 2020, to comply with Commission rules and regulations. So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. You've heard Commissioner Howard's motion. Are there questions or comments? If not all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. And the motion carries. Thank you.
Item number 10, docket number 2019-68T. We have a request for an extension of time.
Mr. Chairman,
Commissioner Whitfield?
move that we grant the request of Seption Jones doing business as Coast to Coast Movers for an extension of time until October 1, 2019 to comply with Commission rules and regulations.
Thank you. You've heard Commissioner Whitfield's motion. Are there questions or comments? Not all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. And the motion carries.
Item number 11, docket numbers 2010-133T, 2019-270T, and 2019-271T, we have a request to suspend.
Mr. Chairman,
Commissioner Belzer.
I move that the commission approve the request of Renew Transportation LP to suspend Class C non-emergency certificate number 8266-A until August 20th, 2020.
Thank you. You've heard Commissioner Belzer's motion. Questions or comments? If not all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. And the motion carries. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, that concludes today's agenda.
Thank you, Mr. Midges. There's nothing else to come before us. We are adjourned.
Thank you for joining us for today's post-meeting summary. These commission business meetings are held each Wednesday at 2 p.m. and all agendas and materials are posted to the docket management system prior to each meeting. If you have questions about commission business, we encourage you to reach out to us at robert.bachman@psc.sc.gov or via social media by following the SC Utility Consumer Program on Twitter at Utility Consumer and on Facebook at SC Utility Consumer. Today's business meeting started at 2:01 p.m. with all commissioners in attendance, with Commissioner Williams in attendance electronically, with item 1 on the supplemental agenda, a request for feedback and any comments from parties of record who were interviewed during the 2 special commission business meetings on August 12th and August 19th. Commissioner Williams moved to require that these comments and feedback be submitted by 5:00 p.m. on Friday, August 23rd, this Friday. This motion carried. The commission then moved on to the utilities agenda. Item 1 was carried over until a later date. Item 2, a request for a certificate of public convenience and necessity to provide resold inter-exchange telecommunications services, was granted following a motion made by Commissioner Belzer. Item 3, a petition to intervene, was granted after a motion brought by Commissioner Whitfield. Item 4 was a request to consider Amendment 1 to the agreement between Dominion Energy South Carolina and the Starbucks Corporation. Commissioner Howard made the motion to approve this amendment, which carried. Item 5 was a request by Blue Granite Water Company for approval of water and sewer agreements without notice or hearing. Blue Granite is making this request on the grounds that the agreements are not a, quote, new rate, toll, rental, charge, or classification, or a new regulation, or a new or changed schedule, end quote. Commissioner Whitfield moved to carry this over at the request of ORS, noting that ORS has submitted a letter stating that it is in discovery with the applicant and time is needed for that process. This motion carried. Item 6 was a petition to intervene, which was granted following a motion made by Commissioner Belzer. Items 7 and 8 were taken together, with Commissioner Irving making the motion to accept for filing the power purchase agreements between Duke Energy Carolinas and XLEO, Energy South Carolina York LLC, and to grant confidential treatment of the agreements in those dockets as they contain proprietary information. This motion carried. Similarly, item 9 was a request for acceptance of a power purchase agreement between Cardinal Solar LLC and Duke Energy Progress LLC, and the granting of confidential treatment of this agreement. Commissioner Belzer made the motion to grant this request and confidential treatment, and this motion carried. Item 10 related to a request in docket number 2016-398-E and the confidential treatment of the natural gas pipeline construction and transportation service agreement filled with its report of lease financing. Commissioner Irving moved to grant this request, and this motion carried. Finally, item 11 was a request from Dominion Energy South Carolina Incorporated for an accounting order related to the installation of advanced metering infrastructure, or AMI. Some background here. On July 3rd, DESC filed a petition to be authorized to defer as a regulatory asset the incremental depreciation expense, property taxes, and amortization of implementation costs of associated software incurred in connection with the installation of advanced metering infrastructure for its retail electric customers. to record the carrying costs on the balance and the deferred cost regulatory asset at its embedded cost of long-term debt, to reclassify the carrying value of the existing electric meters being replaced to an electric unrecovered plant regulatory asset account to be included in the company's rate base consistent with the current treatment for this investment upon their retirement, to reclassify the carrying value of the existing gas meter and encoder receiving transmitters devices being replaced to a gas unrecovered plant regulatory asset account to be included in the company's rate base consistent with the current treatment for this investment upon their retirement, and to amortize the unrecovered plant regulatory asset accounts over the estimated composite remaining lives of the replaced meters and ERT devices, respectively. In its petition, the company asserts that, among other benefits, quote, the installation of AMI will enable customers to take greater control over their energy usage through control of the due date of their bill, allow interaction with web-based energy usage analyzers, provide alerts based on energy usage for customer-determined targets and thresholds, place same-day or real-time customer service requests, and provide enhanced communications during outages. On August 14th, ORS filed a letter stating that it does not object to the request, but does recommend the following. 1. The amortization expense shall be at the level of depreciation currently approved in rates under DESC's next general rate case. 2. Residential and non-demand customers should be offered the option to opt out of AMI deployment under terms and conditions. And 3. That DESC should file a consumer education plan providing specific details of how DESC will communicate AMI deployment to its customers, this opt-out option, and the benefits of AMI to customers. Commissioner Howard made the motion to grant this request under ORS's recommendations, which carried. Commissioner Belser did ask for clarification regarding the request to defer costs, specifically clarifying that Dominion was seeking software cost recovery and not hardware. The Commission concurred that these costs would be for software, not hardware, per the company's request. The full text of the Commission's motion will be posted to the docket management system as soon as possible. It outlines the company's petition and the Commission's position in comprehensive detail. We'll be sharing this via social media once it's available, so please do follow us on Twitter and Facebook at SC Utility Consumer and at the Public Service Commission of South Carolina. In addition to the items discussed at this meeting, the Commissioners were advised on 60 other utilities-related issues. You can find the complete list of these items, along with the docket information for each, on the Docket Management System website at dms.psc.sc.gov. That's dms.psc.sc.gov. Moving on to the transportation agenda, today's meeting began with 6 new applications for Class C certification. Following a motion made by Commissioner Whitfield, these requests were granted. Item 7 was a request to cancel, which was granted following a motion made by Commissioner Williams. Next, Commissioners heard 3 requests for extension of time to comply with PSC rules and regulations. These 3 requests were granted following motions made by Commissioners Irvin, Howard, and Whitfield, respectively. Finally, Commissioners voted to suspend a certificate until August 20th, 2020, following a motion made by Commissioner Belser. In addition to the matters discussed in detail at this meeting, Commissioners were advised on 6 more transportation-related issues. Again, you can find that complete list and links to docket materials and to orders issued by the Commission through the docket management system at dms.psc.sc.gov. There will be a Commission business meeting at 2 p.m. on August 28th, and this meeting will be live-streamed. You can access that broadcast by visiting our site at psc.sc.gov and clicking on the live stream button. If you have questions about today's proceedings, please follow us on social media, on Twitter at PSCofSC, or on Facebook at the Public Service Commission of South Carolina, or call our offices at 803-896-5100. Thank you.